Thank you. I'd like to welcome Frank Stewart to the table to talk to us for his presentation. So welcome.
Thank you. My name is Frank Stewart. I worked for about 30 years as an economist in central government, local government and the private sector. I retired about 20 years ago to manage my own financial portfolio and do charity work. And I'm talking about the uniform annual general charge. And I'll tell you what it is, because last time I talked to the mayor about it, before he became mayor, he wasn't quite sure what it was. But it's
please.
The uniform annual charge, or UAGC, is a fixed dollar rate that is applied evenly to each household. Now, the planned proposal is to reduce it from around $150 to about $50. The UAGC is a valuable tool in the rating toolbox that should be used, not thrown away by reducing it to next to nothing. And the proper use of the UAGC is to recover council expenditure that benefits households or people in those households more than the city as a whole. Now, such expenditure should include the operating costs of libraries, parks, sports facilities, education and cultural services, museum, and the cost of the councillors who we elect. Less, of course, the amounts recovered from user charges for those operations. So what's left for capital value rating? This should recover expenditure that increases the well-being of the city as a whole, and that would include infrastructure such as stadiums, water and waste systems, capital costs of new community facilities and transport systems, although in my opinion a land value is a better rating mechanism for transport, even though it's more progressive than capital rating. And it's my view also that much of the infrastructure operating costs should be recovered from the UAGC too, but this may be too big a pill for you to swallow. I think the council should carefully consider the beneficiaries of its services and rate accordingly, making use of the UAGC. Of course, many of your staff may not like this because funding through the UAGC allows much more scrutiny of the costs of their favoured projects when it would be otherwise hidden in the general rate. A couple of other points. Do we get value as a pensioner couple from paying about $9,000 in rates every year for the services the council provides us? I doubt it. Auckland's UAGC is $477 and Wellington is $777, although Dunedin doesn't use it. I've got a family holiday house on the west coast that has district rates of $2,000 a year, and the UAGC there is $636, and there's other fixed rates per household for other services which are even more, $938, and that leaves the variable general rates of only $540. It's a little bit more progressive than you because they do use land value rating on the west coast. My final point is that the council is there to provide services to its ratepayers. You should rate fairly. You are not a social welfare agency. So that's my submission, thank you.
Thank you very much. We've got time for one question from Jake.
Hey Frank, personally, would you be better or worse off under option B?
I'd be worse off, for sure.
Right.
Okay.
But there are a lot of pensioners in my situation that have had their houses destroyed by the earthquakes, have rebuilt on the property, the capital value's gone up enormously, and they're more wealthy, but they haven't realised it, and they're paying more. You know, I don't want to move house because my house was destroyed by the earthquakes. I rebuilt, and it's a hell of a lot more valuable than what it was. But I still don't want to move out of where I live. I've lived for 20 or 30 years.
That would be at the extreme end of options available to you. But yeah.
Thank you very much, Frank, for coming in and letting us know that. That's brilliant. Thank you. So, Summit